Well, it's been a long time since I got to do any free forging. So in today's video, just seeing what comes out from under the hammer. Got one little project that turned out pretty nice in the end. And the other is just a little everyday carry knife that I finished up, and we'll get to the forging and we'll see what I came up with at the end. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna start out with a piece of 3/16 by about 1.5 inch high carbon steel. Just welded it on a piece of flat stock so I've got a handle. And we're gonna start off on that curve point, which gave me a little head start on forging out the tip of the blade. It's gonna take a while before I get it exactly where I want it. But at this point, you can see I'm using the near edge of the anvil to make a set down in the stock. Now I've got that set down established. Still going to take a bit of work to keep everything nice and level. And there I'm working on a small knife from just a little scrap piece of 3/16 or maybe 1/8 inch 1095 high carbon, forging in the tip on it. And back to the bigger blade. Make sure everything's flat. Yep, it's looking pretty good. If you start getting bulges and mess ups, you got to fix them then. If you let them get too far, you're out of luck. Now I'm hammering in a second set down behind the first. I really didn't have a plan when I went into this, just wanted to do something different. I'm already forging out the bevels on that smaller blade. Still working on the set down here. I know that's kind of a goofy looking shape right now, but it'll make sense in a little bit. Work down those bevels. I just want a small blade. Maybe a 3-inch blade. Something nice and light a person could just drop in their pocket, or I don't know, even carrying a side sheath. I still need to work on that offset a little bit. Kind of want to forge that one, that large one, to as close to finish as I can. Don't want to do a lot of grinding on either one of these. Not really worried about that small blade I keep tinkering with. It's just going to be a little simple nothing. Now we're going to work on that transition a little bit. Need to deepen it up, make that transition offset a little more pronounced. That's not too bad. Level everything back up. And back to the small blade. Just make a little offset there for the handle. Short blade, I want a short handle. I want a small knife. Come back and just bend that little handle a little bit around the horn. That's almost done. This one is not quite almost done. Some of you folks can probably see where I'm going with this already. For those of you that can't, the shape will be apparent further along, just going to put in the hardy cutter and cut off the handle for this smaller knife. Okay, I took the smaller knife to the vise and finished breaking it off. Still not quite satisfied with that transition, but it's pretty close. Preform's almost done. Just need to draw that blade out a little longer. Pretty good. Right now I'm curving the blade from the spine down towards the tip, so when I hammer the bevels in. And I'm drawing out the handle of the small blade to make it a little longer and a little wider and add a little taper. Hammer in a little more shape here on this. That's going to be the handle of the knife. Knock that in a little. Yeah, not too bad. It's coming along. And a little knife's practically done. Just making sure she's nice and straight. And get back to work on this one. Yep. That'll do fairly well. Now our little knife is being normalized in between working on the bigger one now. And I'm actually working in the bevels. And you can see as I pinch the steel between the hammer and the anvil and push it down, it spreads the steel, which is pushing the curve I had in the blade back towards the spine. I don't want a really sweeping curve in this knife. I want it kind of straight. I want the spine kind of straight. Yeah, it's coming out pretty good. And I actually want to leave the tip kind of thick, so it'll have a really strong piercing tip. There we go, that's almost got the blade shape finished. Pretty happy with that. Just measure it with the handle where to cut it off. And I'll go to the grinder and just cut that off with the grinder instead of fooling with the hardy cutter. And there we go. About the right length. Happy with that. That will do. All right, so you can see how the forging went. The little knife I worked on in between working on the bigger one. Just a little rustic finish knife. Those are red palm handles. Small knife, easy to carry. Absolutely sharp. I debated on just making a sheath for that where it could just be dropped in a pocket, but I ended up making a leather sheath with a belt loop. And that's the way it came out after all. And our other knife, finished up. Just polished the flats, left the spine and the little guard as forged. Fitted it with a hard curly maple handle. I left the finish on the handle natural. I think it offsets the dark forged finish very well. I know a lot of people like them brown, and I do a lot of them. I stain them brown or use aqua fortis and stain them. But in this case, I just wanted to go natural. Anyway, hope you liked today's video. Be sure and leave us a like, leave us a comment in the comment section. Let us know if there's something specific you'd like to see in the future. Be sure and subscribe to the channel. We're getting on up close to 500 subscribers. So when we get there, we'll be halfway to being able to get a little bit of monetization and maybe make a little money to make these videos a little better. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. God bless and have a great day.